Hey, so today we're going to talk all about soul contracts and karmic relationships. What is the difference and what is the reason that we have them? So, a soul contract wraps into a karmic relationship. When we are in spirit, before we come here, before we incarnate in this earth, we set up contracts with other souls, with other spirits about the things that we want to experience, how we want to experience them, and in what way that person will serve in our life. When it comes to karmic relationships, those relationships are teaching us hard lessons. Those relationships are generally teaching us how to honor ourselves, how to love ourselves, or how to honor and love another person. And this will show up in abusive relationships, in relationships that diminish someone's self-worth, in relationships where someone is constantly being taken for granted. And this is how you can see how the karmic relationships play out, because you may have a karmic relationship with one person where there's a lot of abuse and a lot of putting the other, someone's putting you down, and then you finally break free of that relationship, but you weren't the one that let go. For some reason you were forced out of that relationship, so you go into your next relationship and you may notice that similar patterns are playing out in the other relationship. And so people ask this question all the time: why do I keep finding the same type of person? Why do I keep attracting the same type of person into my life? And the reason for that is because until you learn the lesson that you came here to learn through those karmic relationships, you're going to have to keep experiencing the same thing. So it's up to us to break the cycle of those karmic relationships. And that means that we honor our self-worth. We see what the lesson is, what that other person is trying to teach us. We thank them for what they're trying to teach us, and then we move forward. And you'll notice that once you break the pattern, whether it's in a karmic relationship with a romantic partner, whether it's with someone in your family, whether it is with a job, these types of relationships can show up in different ways and in different areas of our lives. And if we really have a lot of work to do, that is most of the time where we need to start stepping up and honoring ourselves and speaking our truth and really embodying and integrating those lessons that we came here to learn. And once we start doing that, slowly we will start to see how the universe starts to come together for us, so that we no longer are experiencing those patterns, but we shift into a higher vibration. We shift into more love for ourselves. And then so our world begins to shift as well. And this is how karmic relationships show up. We can have them with our kids. We can have them, it can be anyone in our lives, in any area of our lives, and it can show up differently. It can show up with abuse, of course. That's the most easiest one to see, but it can also show up with being taken advantage of. It can show up as being a doormat for another person. It can show up where you are the one on the opposite end of the karmic relationship, and you are the one that has the anger and the violence and the internal issues that are causing you to project onto another person. So what is this person that you're with, what are they teaching you? What is this half of your karmic relationship teaching you? How to be more gentle, how to be more kind. And again, it all goes back to self-worth, because if we're treating another human in that way, then we don't honor and respect ourselves in the way that we absolutely should. So all the way around, a karmic relationship is for the purpose of healing both souls involved. Back to karmic relationships. Karmic relationships really, they're intense, and they can be fiery and they can be passionate, but then that's the beautiful side of them. But then you have the other side, and you'll hear people in these intense karmic relationships say, but we have so much love for each other, and they're, when it's good, but when it's bad, it's so bad. And this has a lot to do, again, with the intensity and the soul contract. You may, in a sense, be a twin flame, and a twin flame is essentially what we think of as a soulmate. A soulmate is actually a teacher for our soul and can be anyone. A twin flame is likely going to be a romantic partner that is a mirror for you. Someone that sometimes these relationships are very beautiful and they're very intense and there is no karma to heal because it's been healed. Other times our twin flame is coupled with that karmic relationship and is fiery, intense, passionate, but is also negative and belittling and takes a lot from us. And so again, it's that person teaching us and helping our soul to grow. So let's go back to soul contracts. We have essentially a soul contract with every person that we ever come in contact with, because we are all energy. So as we pass by people on the street, as we stand behind people in the grocery store, we are exchanging energy with them. How do we never come into contact with them? Our life might look completely different. And it's hard to really rationalize that, but such a small interaction with someone can change the course of your entire life. And so we have these tiny soul contracts with each and every person that we come into contact with, but we also have bigger and grander soul contracts with those in our lives. You know, with our pets, they act as our family. They act as our comfort. And so there's an example. And then we have, of course, our loved ones and our children, where maybe in a past life they were our parents and now we're their parents, and they're showing us how to grow, and they're teaching us things that we need to learn. And we don't often look at people as being our teachers, but every single person that we come in contact with, every single living being that we come in contact with is our teacher. And the ones that really challenge us the most, the ones that really seem to hold us back, those are actually our greatest teachers, because they push us to move forward. They push us to see our potential. They push us to learn those lessons, integrate them, and allow them to flourish so that we can be our best self. And so we enroll into these soul contracts with people before we come here, so that we can experience certain lessons that are going to help our soul to grow. And so again, it kind of goes back to that karmic thing, where if we keep experiencing throughout life different scenarios with the same patterns, the same types of people, we're seeing the same situation show up, this is going to be a major clue that you have a soul contract that needs to be fulfilled. So it's your job to find the lesson in that, find your teachers, and the best way to start finding them is to start appreciating them. As hard as it is, we get to appreciate those that challenge us the most, and as we move through gratitude, our lessons can then reveal themselves, and as they reveal themselves, we can start to work through them, integrate them, heal them, and then move on to something that's more serving to us at this time.